Could you share the inspiration behind the concept of the album C XOXO as a whole?
Yes, I can. The inspiration behind this album is, I feel like it's a lot of things. I feel like that line in Dreamgirls, where it's like for all the girls that are learning to be women now, is a big like theme in the album. Like I feel like it's like coming of age, like girlhood to womanhood. I feel like there's like this energy of like confidence that's like the C XOXO kind of persona, which is a side of myself that I really like kind of tapping into for this era and for the performances. And it's kind of like this baddie energy and friendship.
Yeah. And you talked about how this album is inspired by your hometown, Miami.
Yes.
How has Miami inspired you musically and culturally and in this album?
Well, I moved to Miami when I was 7 with my mom. And I'm just very thankful for that city because I feel like to a lot of like immigrant families, it's kind of like become our new home. And I think there's something really beautiful about personifying a place that took you in and kind of giving love to it or writing a love letter to it. And this album is my way of doing that. And I think it's informed a lot of who I am and a lot of my music taste because it's such a melting pot of culture. And there's Latin music playing, there's rap, there's Afrobeat, there's Caribbean music. It's such a melting pot. And I feel like my music taste is very like that. Like my favorite places to go dancing are like always in Miami. I feel like they just play the best music.
Mm. And in the trailer release prior to the album, you referred to Miami as Caribbean Tokyo.
Yeah.
Did the futuristic atmosphere of Miami remind you of Tokyo?
Yes.
What does Caribbean Tokyo mean to you?
I love that question. I feel like Tokyo is very C XOXO. And I feel like there is a kind of futuristic energy and theme about this album. We have the kind of robot dogs on stage and, the color palette is very, like there's like chrome and silver chrome and everything kind of looks like it's from the year, 3000 in that way. And I think Miami, because of those colors, like the neon colors and some of the futuristic aspects of the city, it made me think of like a kind of Caribbean Tokyo. But I have been so excited to go to Tokyo because I truly feel like it's so C XOXO. And especially, like a song like Chanel No. 5, like that whole verse is like, like Japanese references.
That leads me to our next question.
Yes.
About Chanel No. 5. We hear Japanese phrases such as origami,
yes,
murakami,
yes,
wabi-sabi,
yes,
umami,
yes,
and omakase.
That's right.
What is the reason behind this? And what does the perfume symbolize in this song?
Yes. Well, for Chanel No. 5, when I came up with that melody, that was the vowel sound that kind of happened. It was like, and when I write, I will go on Rhyme Zone. And so many of the words were these Japanese words, and also Japanese words that I find really beautiful and inspiring. At that time, I was reading a Murakami book. And it's all things that I'm really fascinated by. Like I love food, and I love that umami is considered, I don't know if it's the 5th or 6th flavor. Mm-hmm. But wabi-sabi is like also such a beautiful concept to me, like the kind of beauty and imperfection. So it's all these concepts that I thought were really beautiful and sang really beautifully too. And Chanel No. 5, it was a perfume that I wore during a specific time in my life where I was with someone and he just like loved that perfume on me. And I always knew I wanted to write a song about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The album features several hip-hop artists, including Drake, Playboi Carti, and the ladies from City Girls. This is the most hip-hop driven album you've released. What inspired that?
I think that in hindsight, some of my favorite songs have been where I collaborate with my favorite rappers like Havana, and Young Thug, or like My Oh My with The Baby. Even like my Real Friends remix with Sway Lee, I thought was so cool. I think I've always had a like rap influence to my writing and to my melodies. And I just like, I always think that people coming from different parts of the musical landscape is so much more interesting than two like very similar kinds of artists on the same kind of song. And it's just always been exciting to me, like when I do collaborations like that. So I just wanted more of that on this album.
Other than the singles that you released with those artists that I mentioned, what are the songs from the album that you love most personally, or that you want to make sure fans hear and listen to?
Other than the singles on the album, it's hard to pick the songs that I want the fans to hear the most, because I truly love all of them so much. Like, I really feel like every single song is just, I just could not be on the album. So it's really hard to pick. I feel like for my Japanese fans, I feel like Pretty When I Cry is, I don't know, kind of reminds me of them because it's so kawaii.
And the last question, how would you like your Japanese fans to feel when they listen to this album? Is there a time that you'd want them to listen to, a moment, an activity?
I want my Japanese fans to feel extra confident when they listen to this album, because I feel like now, and especially when I was younger and now, I feel like I look to my favorite female artists for confidence. You know, before I did anything that made me nervous, I would put on, you know, Homecoming by Beyonce, or, you know, like my favorite like female rappers, and that would kind of get me in a better mindset. And I feel like this album was my way of doing that for myself. And I hope that it makes them feel, more confident in their own skin, more playful. And the best setting to listen to this album, I feel like, would be with your friends.
Cool. And do you have any last words for your fans in Japan?
What I would like to say to my fans in Japan is daisuki. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to go back there, because I just love Japan so much. I love Japan, and I love my Japanese fans, and I feel incredible every time I go there. So I really have been like, when are we going to go to Japan? And I think we'll go there very, very soon.